Okay, so if I'm going to be running a 10-inch wide rim with 5-inch back spacing plus an inch, which is my adapter, I'm going to be at a 4-inch back spacing. Because that rim has a 6-inch back spacing, I know that I can get 6 inches on this side of my mounting point. So where the rim actually mounts to the hub and the disc rotor and everything like that. So that's a really easy way to go about it, is to just measure the back spacing on your current setup. Now most of you probably won't have 6-inch back spacing because that's ridiculous. These tires sit so far in. I think they're only 6.5-inch wide rims. And so, yeah, maybe they're 7-inch rims, so there's an inch on this side. But basically, they're not the right rims for this model, and that's why they sit so far tucked up underneath. The other rims have a slightly different back spacing, or offset. Offset, again, back spacing is measured from the inside, offset is measured from the outside. That's how I think of it. It's an easy way to go if you're confused about it. Partially I like back spacing better because it's in inches, so that's easier for me to get my mind around it, especially when you're talking about either a 8-inch wide rim or a 9-inch wide or a 10-inch wide rim. So I have a 10-inch wide rim with 4-inch back spacing. That means there's 4 inches on the inside of the tire, or on the inside of the car, and 6 inches on the outside of the car. Back spacing is super simple to wrap your mind around. So if you're having trouble with offset, you can go and find an offset chart. So I have this handy dandy book. I would recommend getting one if you're into tires and wheels. It's a whole lot easier to look things up in here and know it's correct than it is to do it online. So this is how I get all of my info about tires, basically. In here, it has all kinds of info at the beginning, reference tables, and oh look, an offset conversion table. So say somebody's talking about like an 18 by 10 with negative 20 offset. So on this chart, I come down to a 10-inch wide rim on the side. I come over here to about negative 20, negative 19 right here, and I come up here and it's a 4 3/4 inch back spacing. There's almost 5 inches inset towards the vehicle. So that helps me a ton, okay? If you're American or you're using freaking inches that suck, convert to back spacing. It's a lot easier to actually get your mind around how far in the tire is going to be inside the car versus how far outside the car. The other cool thing about this booklet, it talks about speed ratings, so you actually know what the markings on your tires mean. You have a bolt pattern conversion from empirical to metric. In here it even talks about all of the different figures on a tire, so section height, section width, outside diameter, gives you examples of all of that. And then the really valuable part for me is that this has every single size tire from 13-inch all the way up to close to 24. Yeah. So every single size tire here in the 15s, you have it listed by the tire increment, so a 155 60 15 all the way up to a 265 75 15. So that's sorted by size. And then this side is sorted by outside diameter, so the smallest one is a 195 45 15. It's 21.9 inches outside diameter. It goes all the way up to 28. I have another page of 15s. 16, 17, 18, 19, all of that is here, so I know exactly what dimensions a tire is. So I have the what size it is. Let's take my stock. I think I'm running a 215 40 17, I think, on my Legacy GT on the saw blades. So right here, 215 45 17s. One caveat is that these are the guidelines. This is not going to be exact for every single tire manufacturer, but it gives you a pretty strict set of guidelines to what it will be. So on a 215/45/17, you have a 8.5 inch section width, so the tire is 8.5 inches wide. Your section height is 3.8, so it's 3.8 inch tall rubber sidewall. You have your outside diameter. It can give you a good idea if you're looking to do lifted setups. You can come back here in the back and look for Subaru. So a 1999 Subaru Legacy has an OE outside diameter of 24.1 inches. So if I'm looking to lift it and I want to put on some big mud tires here, so I look over here, 24.1 inches, to upsize from that. Let's say I want to go to a 26. That's like a Legacy or an Outback size. I have all of these options here that are 26 inches. If I want to go up to 27 or 28 inch, a 235/70/15 is a 28 inch tire. A 235/75/15 is a 29 inch tire, and a 255/75. Anyway, you get the idea. This is my most valuable book for working on cars. This has everything you need to know. You might be able to find these on eBay or something like that. Anyway, so that's how I'm going about doing this. Is I'm looking here, and I'm looking at how tall I want to be. The tire I want to use is a 295/50/15. So here, 295/50/15, it has an 11.6 inch section width. So it's an 11.5 inch wide tire. It's 5.8 inches tall rubber, so it's got some good cush to it. And it's 26.6 inches outside diameter. And stock on this Legacy, I'm pretty sure, was a 26.1. And so I'm actually going smaller because these tires, 215/70/16. So I look here, 215/70/16 is a 27.9, basically a 28 inch outside diameter, and I'm dropping down 2 inches, so it's going to actually lower the car an inch. Another thing that I've learned, the only thing this book doesn't have is it doesn't tell you what size rim you should put these on. You can also go on to the tire manufacturer's specific website, search the tire, search the size, and they will also have a table, and they'll tell you the exact section width, because this is just a generalized one. It'll tell you the exact section width, the exact section height, and what size rim they recommend using. They'll give you a range. So like this 295/50/15 is recommended between an 8.5 inch wide to a 10.5 inch wide rim. I think it's actually 8 inch to 10.5 inch. An 8 inch rim, you'll kind of start getting it bubbling over because it's so squished in to get the bead seated. And a 10 inch wide rim will be about perfect. They recommend a 9 or 9.5 inch wide rim for a 295. So I'm going to be perfect. It'll look meaty still. It's not going to be kind of stretched look. It'll be fully out on site, barely poking out of the rims because it's an 11.5 inch section height or section width, and it's going to be on a 10 inch wide rim. My only concern, I need to check the back, but I think it might stick out a little more than I was hoping for. Anyway, I am pretty positive it's going to fit on the front with turning and everything, and that's just because it's going to be slightly smaller. These barely rub, you can see. These ones rub right there, and that is when you are backing up at full lock. You can see both of those spaces. Now, like I said, this tire is 28 inches outside diameter. I'm going down to a 26 inch diameter tire, so I shouldn't have an issue there. It will be, actually I think it's going to be about the same far, I guess, offset on the inside. And so I'm good, I'm clear. The backs obviously are going to fit. I was going to show you how to do it on the back. The back is easier to figure out because you don't have to worry about, obviously you don't have to worry about the tire turning. This little mountain with a snowflake, that means they are snow rated. Obviously not snow tires, but they're rated for snow. They're good for snow. The compound can hold up to the cold temperatures, things like that. Okay, yeah, back to the rears are a lot easier to measure. You don't have to worry about the tire turning because there's no steering in the rear on most cars. And yeah, basically it's gonna fit. Mostly I know it's gonna fit because this tire fits here and I'm not rubbing back here against the spring. Now I have, I don't even know, a 1/4 inch. I have a 1/4 inch there, maybe an 1/8 of an inch. I can't even see it. All I know is that it's not touching. But I'm confident that that's going to be plenty of space for some super wide rims. And the dumb thing about this is because these are more offset inside underneath the car. This has, I think, 2.5 or 3 inches between the fender and right here where it mounts. So pushing this out 5 inches is going to do a huge amount for the looks of this, because this thing, my issue with this is it looks kind of goofy because it looks so skinny. But yeah, that's how to measure for offset, how to measure for new rims. So if you're curious to know what specs your tires have, all you have to do, well, not your tires, your rims, all you have to do is pull the rim off and it'll tell you on the back side of it. So they have these casting marks here. So right here is, it's a 16 by 6.5. This is the aluminum compound that it's made out of. It's made in the USA. 5 lug. Subaru made it. The important one is this one here and this one here. So this one here, that says 55. So this is a 55 millimeter offset. So you come here and it's a 6.5 inch rim with a 55 offset around here between these two, and I was right. It's between 5 3/4 and 6 inch backspacing. So if I have a 5.5 inch backspacing or a 5 inch, no, it would be down to 4 inch backspacing. Anyway, I'm gonna be clear. I'm gonna be good to go. So anyway, that's you can find these offset conversion tables on Google. Just search it. You can find all of this stuff online, but this is really nice because it's all in one place, and I just have to go grab my book. So another thing to take into account when you're looking into some new rims are the brakes that you have on your car currently. Generally, it's not a huge issue, but if you have big brakes, I mean, you need to think about it. So here on my Legacy H6, I have bigger front calipers than a standard Legacy. So they're a good upgrade option, but it also can get in the way if we're talking about rims. So here you can see it's a pretty tight fit. This is a 16 inch rim, and so a 15 inch rim is going to be smaller, obviously. Now it's not going to be an inch smaller, it's going to be 1/2 inch smaller. So I need to find the tightest spot and see if I have 1/2 inch. Now it doesn't look like I do, which might screw my plans over, but that's what we're doing now, is measuring it. So I got some random crap to stick in there. I want that one. So we're going to take these, and those 3 together are about as much as I can fit. I'm wondering if I can fit a little more because there's a lip here on the edge, so that might be closing it down a little bit. So I'm more concerned because the front face is not going to have any impact because it's going to be so far over. So if I do it from the rear, those 3 are about as much as I can do. So let me pull them out and I'll go measure them and cross my fingers that I'm gonna have enough space, because I would really like to run a 15-inch. This is telling me that I don't even have an inch. Don't look at that because it's not working, but down here. Shoot. Well, that might have boogered my plans. But luckily, they are just plans. Luckily, yeah, I don't have my rims here. I haven't paid for them. I haven't bought tires. I haven't done any of that. That's why you do all of this stuff first, before you buy tires and rims. Now, I can understand, obviously, if you're getting a deal on used stuff, you can jump on it before you think it all the way through and go ahead and buy it, but preferably, yeah, I only have a third of an inch, whatever that is, 3.5 of an inch. But, well, just means I need to do some more thinking and figuring before I put money down. So those are your major steps that you should take to, or steps, things to take into account and think about and figure out before you buy things, before you buy wheels. Because if it's the last thing you want to do is spend a bunch of money on brand new tires or used tires and new rims and have them not fit your car. So, yeah, do your research, like always. Anyway, I'm going to go inside and try something, maybe. Yeah, I might end up buying one rim, having it shipped to me, trying to put it on, and seeing if it'll fit. It's going to be really close if it fits. But it might be worth it. So anyway, we'll see. And then if it doesn't fit, I can just return it. I'd lose like 20 bucks shipping, but 20 bucks compared to 800 bucks for a whole tire, rim, and adapter setup is a better deal than, yeah. Anyway.